regardless of what you sell, you're in the business of marketing. You're in the business of marketing personal coaching. You're in the business of marketing, your law services. You're in the business of marketing catering services, whatever your business is, right? Hey, what's up, my friends? Mark Corey Russell here. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Client Attraction University, and our company is the go-to resource for the top coaches, consultants, experts, and service-based business owners when it comes to making their marketing more profitable. When they want to increase their profitability, increase the amount of leads they're getting, the amount of ideal clients they're getting in, so they can actually grow and scale predictably and consistently, they come to over here to Client Attraction University. So in this particular video, I actually want to just break down 7 lessons that I've extracted from us doing over $25 million in revenue. And I'm going to walk you through these steps, step by step, and give you some context on them as well, so you can actually apply them into your business. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first and foremost, the first one is to simplify, to multiply. It's actually written a little wrong. It's actually written wrong here. It should say to multiply, you have to simplify, right? That's what it should say. Let me fix that real quick. So you have to simplify. And that's something I learned a while ago, because when it comes to business, right? Business has enough, as you scale a business, it creates complexity. So when you're creating a lot of complexity in the business early on, it actually makes things even more complicated, right? So you want to keep things simple, because simplicity scales, but complexity fails. So if you want to simplify, so a lot of times people think you need all these funnels, you need all these different platforms, you need all these different softwares, you need all these different things, but it really goes down to simplification. So that's number 1, super, super, super valuable. Number 2, the cure for overwhelm and information overload. Right? Because I hear a lot of people that come to us and they're like, man, I'm having information overload. I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot of different options. People are telling me this. People are telling me that. A lot of information is conflicting. What do I do? Well, here's what I found. Strategic consumption, right? Strategic consumption, implementation, and what I call the bucket strategy. So the bucket strategy is, so imagine yourself having 2 buckets, right? You want to have a strategic consumption bucket, and then you want to have a implementation bucket. Your implementation bucket should always be more filled, or more full, I should say, than your information bucket, right? So put it this way. For every hour of consumption that you do, there should probably be about 2 or 3 hours of implementation, right? Like executing on this consumption. Because a lot of people, so a vanity metric that a lot of people track, and I used to track as well, it's like how many books you've read. It's like, who cares how many books you've read if you're not implementing anything out of those books, right? So I used to be like, man, I need to read a book a week. I need to read a book a week. I'm not there anymore. I'm still reading, but it's strategic, right? And the books I'm reading right now are strategic, right? A lot of times people ask me, well, Mark, what books you recommend? Well, it depends. It depends on what's the challenge in your business right now. What are you facing right now? Because you want to be consuming a book or hiring a coach or going through a course or going to an event based on a specific area in your business, right? So that's number 2. And just like when you go to an event and you're building on a foundation of implementation, now you can actually go to this event and pull away one thing that can be a total game changer for you and your business. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3, create and stick to a consistent morning success ritual. Now I got a whole nother video breaking down my morning success ritual, basically how I make $1 million before 9 a.m. That's how I structure my morning success ritual. So I'm not going to go through all of that. I highly recommend you check out that video. It's a totally separate video by itself. But check that out. And your morning success ritual actually starts the night before. Like how you end your night is going to really impact how you start the morning. I'm telling you, like I really nerd out and study a lot of highly successful individuals, their morning routines, and I've been able to create my own. I highly recommend you check out that video. It's a totally different separate video by itself. Most people assume they have business problems when really they have identity or behavioral problems that are just showing up in the business. And a lot of that comes from the morning success ritual, okay? Number 4, biology over mindset, right? If mindset got into a fight with biology would win. It doesn't matter how this ties to number 3. It doesn't matter how motivated you are or any of that type of stuff. Like if you're tired, right? If you're dehydrated, all that's going to lead to irritation. It's going to lead to your energy. It's going to affect your stamina, your focus, all that different stuff, right? So you got to really make sure the biology is on point. Like, what are you eating, right? How often are you eating? How much are you eating? What are you drinking? How often are you drinking? How are you sleeping, right? It doesn't even matter like how many, because like somebody could sleep 8 or 9 hours, but it's unrestful sleep. Somebody could sleep 5 or 6 hours, but it's great deep sleep, and their sleep is more optimal, right? And I'll do a whole nother video on like how I optimize my sleep and so forth as well for maximum productivity. So biology over mindset, okay? Number 5, specialist over generalist. So this is another lesson I learned over 25 million dollars of revenue. Here's another lesson I learned. Specialist over generalist, aka if you think about it, individuals who are jacks of all trade are typically either broke, overworked, or both, right? Now, there is a thing of generalist specialist. So depending on where you are in your business. So like for me, when I started our company, it was literally just me, right? And then my partner Dre came on board, and then we continue to add on, right? So because it was me at first, I've been able to be a generalist specialist because I had to know copyright, and I had to know social media, I had to know video content, I had to know ads, I had to know sales, I had to know it because it was just me, so I was a generalist specialist. However, as you're growing and scaling your company, now you got to bring in specific specialists of who can actually dive into and do specific things. So now we have an operations person, Bianca, who's amazing at operations, right? We have my guy Andre, our co-founder, make client success, mental performance, like boom, right? We have amazing all of our team members, right? While they can do other things, the role that they're in specifically is that of a specialist. Okay, very, very important. Number 6 is the mirror effect. Right? We sell like we buy. So if you're the type of person that's hesitant, you always got to think about it, you're always overthinking things, all these different things that keep you from actually making a decision, whether that's to invest into yourself or whatever, you're going to attract who you are, right? You're going to attract who you are every single time. So if you want to attract clients who are willing to pay premium prices, you got to be someone who's willing to pay premium prices. If you want to attract somebody who's willing to pay premium, you want to attract clients who are decisive. You got to be somebody who is decisive. If you want to attract individuals who are committed, you got to be somebody that's committed. Like you got to attract who you are. I'm gonna give you a bonus one as well that I just thought about. Number 7, too much energy. I actually got a few bonuses, I think. Too much energy expenditure without sufficient recovery eventually leads to burnout and breakdown. I actually got that from this book, The Power of Full Engagement, right? So if you overuse your energy, you'll lose it, right? Overuse it and lose it. Too much recovery without sufficient stress leads to atrophy and weakness. Too much recovery. So you don't want to be recovering too much, but you got to be recovering. Okay. So again, here you use it or lose it. So you got to be using it, but you don't want to overuse it, right? So you got to have an equal amount of recovery and energy recovery and energy expenditure. Okay. Now, with your calendar and schedule, ideally, we want to set it up so we're pushing and then we're recovering. Pushing, recover, pushing, recover, pushing, recover, and then pushing and then recovering. And you want to be doing that all in the same week. So how do you schedule your week? So for example, I like to do ideally Monday through Thursdays, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm unplugged unless we're doing like an event or something like that, right? Now, again, it depends on the day, depending on what's going on. But I like to tie recovery into my weekly schedule, okay? Life is not a marathon. It's a series of sprints, right? So you sprint hard, break, sprint hard, break, sprint hard, break. So it's a series of sprints, okay? Now, here's some beliefs I want you to adopt, right? You want to believe it because it will empower you to do your best work, right? Now, before I get into this, another bonus lesson that I've learned is that the most predictable and consistent way to grow wealth and sales for your business is learning how to turn advertising into profit. Now, if you're not using ads for your business and you don't know how to, turn advertising into profit, where every dollar you put into your advertising, you're getting $4 or $5 or more in return, I'm gonna have a link in the description section of this video where you can actually go check out and get access to one of our free resources and our books and a lot of other cool stuff that's going to help you turn more of your advertising into profit or make your current marketing even more profitable. Okay, so let's dive into here some beliefs. So one belief is I have more than enough time to complete what matters most. I have more than enough time to complete what matters most. What matters most. I underline that. The other one, this means that you don't have enough time to do what matters, that you don't have time to do what matters most and what doesn't matter, right? So it's not time you have to work on, it's your selection that you have to work on. What are you doing in that particular time, okay? Things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matters least. Very powerful. Things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter least. This is from Richard Koch. I think Richie Koch, 200, 300, 400, 500 million, right? And those are things too. The author of, 80-20 principle, right? It is the use of time and not time itself that is the enemy. Like, how are you using time? So my goal is, if you're watching this video, that you're going to end this video and you're going to actually implement something you got in this video. So this was a great use of your time. But if you just watch a ton of videos, but you don't implement anything, right? Then there's that. People who achieve most are selective. People who achieve most are selective. They don't do everything. They only do a few things. Right now, as an entrepreneur, this can be a challenge because we always want to do these different things, right? You build your schedule to serve your desired outcome, and you protect your main priorities. All right, so I'm shooting this video right now. It's 12:30. I blocked out this time from 12 to 3, if I'm not mistaken, for just content. So I'm shooting content. I'm protecting this time. I'm locked in, right, to get this done, right? Because my kids typically get home about 3, right? So by the time I leave out the office 3 or 4, I've had a productive day. And I can unplug because I'm not thinking about, oh man, I didn't get the things done. I get the things not. It's not. I locked it in and made sure I got it done. Okay. Now here's another bonus. Once you solve the problems in your life, once you solve the problems in your life that money can solve, you're still stuck with the problems money can't solve. You can't avoid that work. All entrepreneurs deserve to have a coach and a therapist. Dr. Darius Daniel says, a therapist works with you. A therapist works with you on your past, and a coach works with you on your future. So powerful. Okay. Number 2, why success can be elusive. Don't aim for success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. Success cannot be pursued. It must ensue as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a course greater than themselves. It's by Viktor Frankl. By the way, if you want to download this document, I'm gonna have a link in this in the description section as well, and you can actually go download this document as well, so you can kind of have it. You can print it out, put it on your desk, all that good stuff if you want. Okay. Also, you will never achieve success by chasing success. You must set the target, then chase the process. Transactional behavior will kill your progress. So you want to chase the process. Be in love with the process. Okay. Number 3, understanding what business you're in. Like, regardless of what you sell, you're in the business of marketing. That's the bottom line. You're in the business of marketing. You're in the business of marketing personal coaching. You're in the business of marketing, your law services. You're in the business of marketing catering services, whatever your business is, right? Number 4, overcoming the inner 7-year-old. That's a whole nother training in itself. But a lot of the stuff that we learn about money, learn about life, learn about anything, we actually develop by the age of 7 because we didn't really have a conscious mind up to the age of 7, right? So anything that was installed by the people around us, that's who we become unless we break those patterns. So that's why we got to be doing that inner work and working with a therapist, right? To help us uproot some of that stuff, right? Because we could be 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, but we're just that little 7-year-old, 8-year-old boy or girl, just older. Right. Number 5, most of what we do is a waste of time. Many of the things you allow to take up space in your life are not important. They accumulate gradually over a period of years. Certain work habits, leisure activities, relationships, house requirement cleaning, a lot more than, and then of course, we could just continue to add on to this list. What gives great results? Always a very few things. So the secret is in finding a few things that are really powerful, truly pivotal, which makes the difference between success and failure. And then you cut out everything else. So you want to look at the top 20% that's going to get 80% of the results. The top 20% that's going to get 80% of the results. So those are the 7 lessons over 25 that's I've learned by generating over 25 million, growing the company over $25 million in revenue. Again, we got some cool resources in the description. If you want to get this document, you can get it. If you want to get more leads, more clients for your business, we got a link down in the description as well. Go ahead and dive into it. Subscribe to the channel. We got tons of videos. We want to make this channel more valuable than most of the coaching programs and courses out that you're out there finding. Okay, so go ahead and dive in. Look in the description section. Got you hooked up, and I'll see you in another video.